So ethics paper, I start with a comparison. Both got services. Mr. Dabolkar Vasant Prasad, he got a 76 rank, and Shivan Chowdhury is very active in the social media in UPSC, and he gave this, in fact, video. He compared himself with Prasad on his consent, and he showed this in one particular video. So I made this a slide and I'm showing to you. We can learn certain lessons. Now we can see the marks of these two boys. Now we can see here 132. In essay, he got 122. Difference is 10 marks. You can see here paper number 1, he got 1 mark more. Paper number 2, 4 marks. In paper number 3, 4 marks more. In ethics paper, he got 106 and 85. Big difference of 21 marks. Option subject, he got 140, 152, 12 marks more. Here 141, 180, 23 marks less. And as far as the written things are concerned, 808 and 775. And personality test, they got 195 and 195 equally. So he chose the equality as far as the PT is concerned. And you see the difference what you got in the written, that is the 33. Out of 33, 21 is the bigger one. All subjects put together, he got less of 12 marks. But as far as the ethics is concerned, he got 21 marks less than the other person. He got IAS 1003 marks, whereas he got 970. And you can see the difference. He may get IRS, may not be income tax, but it may come to maybe the GST like that. We don't know what the service is going to get. But the point is 76 IAS, whereas 297, no guarantee of even IT. Big difference because of one subject that is called ethics subject. You can see here 106, 85. The entire video, he repents that I got less compared to that guy. So that made a big difference in his service. See, ethics is not such a miserly subject. It is also so generous. It is giving you almost 160 marks, 162 marks. Mind-boggling, isn't it? You see here the marks of Vishaka Yadav in 2019 batch. 132, 102, 121, 93, 139, 100. Nowhere you find 162 like that. But only in ethics, 162. So ethics is a very generous subject, isn't it? And you can see the topper of that batch, Mr. Pradeep Singh. He also got 157 in ethics. You see, only in his PT he got 158, but other subjects less than his ethics paper. Ethics is so generous. In the case of Garima Lohia, this time second ranker, she got 141. You can say 141 marks. And first ranker again, Shruti Sharma, so she got 139. So this subject is a very generous subject. Don't think ethics is a subject which is going to teach you. I found a lot of people getting almost the least which I found as far as the ethics is concerned among the selected candidates is 65 least. But in essay you might have seen now 11 marks, 29 marks, 11.6%. So ethics is generally a general subject, but the difference which you are going to gain by preparation and non-preparation is huge. 162 you can see, and you might have seen 85. What is the difference between those two? Huge difference. So how to maximize our performance in the ethics is our concern. Okay, so I'm not going to give all theoretical aspects now, but I will straightway come what we are going to do and give in this particular institute. What is special here? The special which I can tell here, when compared to all over India, I'm talking about, not in Hyderabad, I'm talking about as far the ethics is concerned or essay is concerned. So because I'm coming with my own inputs, I learn from others, but I will come with my own. First thing is, remember the type of knowledge which is required to write the ethics paper. What type of knowledge you receive here? What type of knowledge you receive here, that's most important. There are three types of knowledge. One is called adaptive layer of knowledge. What is this adaptive layer of knowledge? For example, you know the IKEA, you want a particular item, you order that item, you don't get the item, you'll get a box, isn't it, a parcel. They put a type of template, they put it and they ask you to go according to that, then you will get a item. Suppose you want this podium, they don't send the podium like this, they send a small parcel and you are going to arrange them and podium will be made. This is called adaptive layer of knowledge. You see and do. You read and get. This is called adaptive layer. A dog and animal can do the same. No difference between you and the dog. That's why this is called common way of getting knowledge. It's very mere, what can say, you read the book, get the knowledge. Not special. But there is one more, there are two types of knowledge. The second one is called the experience layer. What is this experience layer of knowledge? This is the knowledge which is given by a person who got the first-hand experience. Who worked in the bureaucracy. If that person comes and teaches, that layer of knowledge will be different. You see, a lady who gives birth to a child, she knows the pangs of the labor. Not a lady who has not given birth to any child. You know the difference between those two? So that's the reason a person who worked in the bureaucracy can give the right type of picture, and that knowledge will be very useful to you to write your examination. The man with the experience definitely makes a lot of difference. Most of the faculties who are teaching ethics are the people coming from what? With adaptive layers of knowledge, not from experience layer of knowledge. That's why whatever we are going to share, they're all practical, which we have undertaken already as a bureaucrat. So that is what the advantage. Very few bureaucrats are teaching in ethics papers. Very few. I know those people. But those people got rich experiences compared to the people who come just like reading some books or maybe some polity, maybe some political sciences, etc. I don't belittle them, but that's the difference definitely you can find. The third one is called existential layer of knowledge. What is this existential layer of knowledge? It is the knowledge which you are going to envisage creativity. You are going to see a problem, a solution in advance. For example, we got a great administrator like S.R. Sankaran. S.R. Sankaran saw the problems of the SCs and STs, and he came with innovative ways, like a single window system, where a tribal need not go for every department to get his solutions, like our T-Hub, T-Pass, like that. Now the new innovations came, but that was given by S.R. Sankaran. So that is called, the people are going to see the future and give the solutions. That is what is known as existential layer of knowledge. Okay. So what we are going to share here is not only this, but we are going to give this and this. Both will be very, very useful to you in the examination to get very good marks. This is a unique feature as far as my teaching here is concerned. Number 2, essential ingredients of the ethics paper. What are the essential ingredients of the ethics paper? Called concepts. Why concepts are very important in ethics? You can see here this question. This is the number one question. This question paper is given to you. You can see that question. What is this question? Wisdom lies in knowing what to reckon with and what to overlook. An officer being engrossed with the periphery, ignoring the core issues before him, is no rare in the bureaucracy. Do you agree that such a preoccupation of an administrator leads to travesty of justice, to the cause of effective service delivery and good governance? Critically evaluate. Now you can see here the terms which I put in red. Wisdom. You must understand what exactly called wisdom. Bureaucracy, administrator, justice, service delivery, and good governance. That is also underlined. Okay? These are all called concepts. Unless you know the meaning of these concepts, can you write a good answer? You cannot. You cannot. So you are supposed to pay attention towards good concepts. You can see the question number 2 there. Intellectual competency, moral qualities, morality, empathy, compassion, civil servants, critical decisions. These are all, again, concepts. Unless you have clear understanding on the concepts, you cannot write good answers. Agree with me? So, to write an answer, you need to understand the meaning of these terms. Okay, so in 2A, rules, regulations, civil servants, performance, positive-minded rules, regulations, like that. There is bigger questions. All these questions are embedded with a lot of concepts. And you can see here, question number 5A, there are 5 concepts given to you. Constitutional morality, conflict of interest, probity in public life, challenges of digitization, and devotion to duty. These are all concepts. They're asking to write 30 words for each concept. 10 marks. 10 marks. How many marks? How many marks are embedded in the total marks of 130? If you are clear about the concepts of ethics, I think 30-40 marks you can easily score by only concepts. By writing only concepts, you can get 30 to 40 marks. I will give you here how the concepts are to be learned and how they are to be mastered. Okay, so the first thing is you must understand the meaning of a concept in simple terms. Simple but unique way. Unique way. That means don't go to the dictionary, don't go to the thesaurus, or maybe don't go to the, what we can say, the books which are available in the market with lots and loads of meanings. You must make it very simple. Every concept should be made very, very simple. And they must be unique. And they must be yours. Just like what is the machine, don't go for the definition from the book. Come with your own meaning, like machine is anything which makes our life easier. So that's the way how you are going to give the definition for that. But of course in ethics, you have to give a different connotation for this. First of all, you are going to give the meaning. Number 2, you must give the relevance of it in the present context. Why this concept is given to us? What is its necessity? The present context you must keep in mind. Number 3, you must apply in governance and administration. Because you are writing and you are going to be in the administration and governance, you must apply from the context of the governance. Okay. Finally, you must give an example if possible. Without example, nothing will be concrete. So examples you have to quote profusely so that you can make your meaning very clear. The theory may not give the clarity, but example gives the clarity. That's why quote as many examples as are possible. Now, the 4 components are to be kept in mind while giving the meaning of a concept. Let us take one example. Okay, so the first thing is called integrity. It's a big word. It's a big word. If it is given, it was given, of course, many times in the examination, how to address this word called integrity. So you are going to define integrity. For clarity's sake, I gave an elaborate definition, but in the exam, you get a very brief definition. What is this? Integrity is the bedrock of a person's character, his inner sense of wholeness. He walks his talk and does always the right thing when nobody is watching him. So this is the meaning of the word called integrity. Okay, you may give partially. It is the total meaning I gave here. But you can write a smaller meaning like walk his talk or doing the right thing when nobody is watching. So small definition you are going to give here. The meaning of the word you are defining in the first instance. Number 2, such a person acts according to the values, beliefs, and principles he holds. Generally, if you take a man of integrity means what? He goes by values. That's the general meaning. In the administration, a public servant who upholds highest values in administration never compromises for any personal gains. A public servant who upholds highest values in administration never compromises for any personal gains. This is the meaning related to what? Administration. Relating to administration. Right. Now we can give an example here. The best example for integrity is Mahatma Gandhi, or you can give Abraham Lincoln, Lal Bahadur Shastri, or maybe Abdul Kalam. You can give an example, preferably to the administration. Gandhi is a great administrator. So don't think that he is not the president or the prime minister like that. But he administered the entire Congress for a long, long period. So from that perspective, Lal Bahadur Shastri was the prime minister. Abraham Lincoln was the president of the United States. So President Kalam, so you know Abdul Kalam is the president of India. So these people are people with integrity. So if you can write with this clarity, you'll get very good marks. Right? So concepts we are going to give in such a very simple way, and I will make you to write concepts by your own way. It's not that I am going to give to you, but you must develop the skill, because you have to write in the exam, not myself. Okay? So this is the second important aspects which I will tell you as a unique feature here. Number 3 is the quotations. Quotations. Now, how many quotations you get on an average? Minimum 3. Minimum 3. Here, question number 3, you can see A, B, and C. 30 marks out of 130. Out of 130, you get 30 marks minimum. But sometimes in some years, they give 5 quotations out of 130, 50 marks. You see, disproportionate marks. But very good advantage for you to write those things. Minimum 3 quotations are guaranteed. From the last 10 years, we observed that. You see, this year there are 3 quotes given to you. Like ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do and what is right to do. Potter Stewart. Potter Stewart. And we can see this quotation with the essay given in the UPSC, essay number 8. You got that essay also with you. See that what is the essay given there? The essay is, just because you have a choice, it does not mean that any of them has to be right. Just because you have a choice, it doesn't mean that any of them has to be right. So there are many people who are stealing the money of the customers. They got the choice to steal, isn't it? But stealing the money of somebody, is it the right thing to do? No. You see here, ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do and what is right to do. This quotation and that essay, both are one and the same. You got a bonus. If you write correctly, you got a bonus of 125. If you write that correctly, you got a bonus of 10 marks here. 10 marks in the UPSC is a big bonus. because 1 mark decides 30 ranks. That is the potential of 1 mark in UPSC. Okay. There is another question by Abdul Kalam, quotation. The third one is by Dalai Lama. They are given to you. Now, how to write a quotation and how to get good marks? So there are 6 to 7 points you must always keep in mind while writing the quotation. Number 1 is, who gave the quotation? Sometimes the author's name is not mentioned in the quotation itself. In that case, if you write the correct author's name, you get 1 mark. But if you write a wrong name, you lose a mark. So there is a bigger potential to gain or lose basing on your accuracy. That's why it is an option to you. You may write, may not write. But normally they give the author, so there's no problem for you. Number 2, give the meaning of the quotation. What exactly is the meaning of the quotation given by the UPSC? Okay, the meaning should be very clear to you, and you must put it in simple terms. Number 3, you must give the intention of the quotation. Why? What is the intention behind this quotation? Why it is given now? That should be made very clear to you. Number 4, implication of the quotation. Suppose if you don't follow, what is the bad thing that you are going to get out of this? That is what is called implication. Okay, then give an example if it is feasible. Give an example if it is feasible. Application of the quotation in general point of view. That means how you can apply this quotation in your day-to-day life. And finally, you are going to apply in governance and administration. So this is the way how you must keep this template in your mind while writing the essay, the quotation. So these points are to be kept in mind while writing the quotation. Now, I'm going to give one example how I wrote according to this plan of action. So ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do and what is right to do. So how it can be written? The right thing to do and the right thing, that means the right to do and the right thing to do appear to be similar, but they are different. So we made a very clear difference between these two. Number 2, in the case of the right to do, choices are available to an individual legally in a society. But right thing to do is a choice availed by individual on his own. Law gives certain rights to us, and we can do those rights. But every right we got is not the right thing to do. For example, you got the right to freedom of expression. But freedom of expression should be done in a right way. But you can see our social media, how their people are abusing those things. Right? So every right, society gives certain rights. But doing or not doing is the individual choices. This you have to make it very clear. Just because something is legally permissible doesn't necessarily mean it is morally the right thing to do. So this is the clear meaning you are giving ultimately as to what exactly is the meaning of the particular quotation. The quotation distinguishes between the legal entitlement and a moral consideration. Legal entitlement means legally you can do these things, but moral considerations are very, very important to do or not to do. It's very important. Now, examples. We have to come to the examples. In a road accident, a witness has a right to take the injured to the hospital or not. You are going on the road, you find the accident patient, you have a right to take the person to the hospital or not. You are perfectly at a thing, nobody will criticize you. But taking the injured is the right thing to do, yes or no? The right thing to do. You got the right to take the person or not to the person, but taking the person to the hospital is the right thing to do. So the difference is very, very important. Similarly, helping the poor by charitable activities, taking care of the environment, using freedom to speech, etc. are rights for us. But are they right things or not? If you do those things, they are right things. If you don't do, nobody will compel you. So that is the difference what is asking in the particular thing. Finally, you have to apply for the administration. Every individual in society or every bureaucrat in the administration should know the difference between the right thing to do and the right to do and the right thing to do, and follow the right action. So finally, you are going to give this type of conclusion where an individual and a bureaucrat should know the difference between he has the right to do and the right thing to do. Got it? So this is the way how the quotations are to be written. The fourth one is about answer writing. This is very, very crucial to get marks. You see, there are answer writing based on the scope of the question. Always you must see what is the scope of the question, and you must always write from ethics point of view. Right? Number two, illustrate with the suitable examples. Whatever you are going to write, you must illustrate with the suitable examples. Number three, quote from the great authorities. Now, whenever you are going to write any quotation, you must write from good authorities. Finally, keep the current developments in the society. Current events are to be kept in mind while writing the answer to the quotations. Got it? I will give one example from the 22 paper. Now, this wisdom aspect you can take. How are you going to write the answer for this? So I just give the answer to you. So it is to give you the type of answers what we are going to get. Stephen R. Covey, in his famous book, The 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People, advocate that every person should put first things first. In other words, pay attention to big rocks rather than small rocks in life. You understand what is big rock, what is small rocks? Prioritize items, very important things. You are appearing for civil services. Is it a big rock or a small rock? Very big rock. Okay, very good and a very prioritized item to do. It means do the important things rather than urgent and unimportant things by prioritizing the tasks. This is what he is told in the third habit in the 7 habits of highly effective people. So I started with this background. Why did I start this background? If you write like this is original. I have not brought anything. Suppose if you can see the books written by hundreds of authors, you don't find this answer in any book. It's my original, my way of looking at things. Because I am a student of Stephen R. Covey, so I can easily relate to that. Next, it equally applies to a public servant. Now I am come to that. Immediately linked to public servant, who should provide good governance by good service delivery with efficiency and effectiveness. These are the words given in the question. It is to be linked. Every individual and every public servant should do the same. Those who preoccupy with sundry and trivial fail in their duty, leading to travesty of justice because they ignore the big rocks and focus on the small ones. Suppose you preoccupy with everything, then ultimately you end up nowhere. For example, an effective taxman focuses his attention on effective implementation of the act and catches big tax evaders rather than the petty vendors squandering his resources. Because I'm a taxman, I know where we have to focus. So from my experience, I gave the tax example. Then from a cop point of view, similarly, a good cop catches gangsters and notorious criminals instead of petty thieves. Now you are going to prioritize what to do, isn't it? Finally, therefore, every public servant should pay attention to big rocks, but not on petty pebbles. See, I started with that big rocks, again ended with the big rocks. So this is the way how the answer is to be structured so that you can create good impression on the examiner and good get marks. Okay. Finally, special on case studies. What is special here on the case studies? You can study any number of books on ethics paper. You don't find a template for writing an ethics paper on case studies. You don't find a template to write the case studies, and case studies are very vital. How many marks? 120 marks. Here we are going to have a template for writing a case study. If you follow the template, you get 60% marks minimum. 60% marks. So the template, I will tell you in the 8-step process. The 8-step process will be shared with you while we are going to interact regularly on discussions. Then you will come to know what is the template you have to follow and how to write the case study. Okay, I will come to the last one. What marks did my students get in ethics? So you can see Rishipriya IRTS, Smilna Sudhakar IPS. This is by Partha Gupta 129, and this is IAS person. He got now IAS. Partha sir, the last year he got a 72 rank. Ashish Das, he got IAS and 124 marks. Okay, this is the way how people are getting marks in ethics paper. Finally, I will like to say, what is that you are going to gain by attending the ethics classes? Because you are committing a large number of your time for this mentoring process, I will tell you, this is the feedback which I get from my participants all the time. They say, my life after attending the ethics paper, and because my life before joining the ethics paper and my life after attending the ethics paper, because you get character development through ethics and essays. I learned a lot of inputs from the personal development trainers, world-class personal development trainers. As I told you, Stephen R. Covey, Brian Tracy, Edward De Bono, Robin Sharma, then Shivkeda. Like that, they're all international trainers on personality development and personal development. These inputs are very important for ethics paper. These inputs are very important for ethics paper. If we quote from their sources, that gives freshness, originality, and creativity. I will help you to bring those things into your answers and into your life. Thereby, you will get marks, and in life, you also will get the type of elevation in your life. This is what you are going to gain by attending the ethics papers. Okay. So this is what I would like to share from my understanding of essay paper and ethics paper. I know that this is a very crucial interaction where we cannot have time to have this type of one-to-one interaction because this is a very limited time. Once we settle down for discussions and writing process, we can have leisurely interaction whereby we can have one-to-one and discuss the matters in detail. Right? See you all. Thank you very much.
Here.